Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a breaking and shocking event that's sending waves across the Middle East and beyond. Reports have surfaced claiming that Yemen has launched a hypersonic missile strike that not only bypassed but actually broke through Israel's Iron Dome defense system. This event, if confirmed, would represent a turning point in modern warfare, something that could change the balance of power in the region forever. Let's unpack exactly what's happening, what this means strategically, and why the world is watching so closely. For years, the Iron Dome has been Israel's pride, a near-impenetrable defense system capable of intercepting short and medium-range rockets before they reach their targets. It has saved countless lives and stood as a symbol of technological dominance and national security. But now, Yemen's reported use of a hypersonic weapon suggests a new level of capability, one that could redefine what modern air defense means. Hypersonic missiles travel at speeds exceeding Mach 5, meaning they move faster than 5 times the speed of sound. That's roughly over 6.0 kilometers per hour. At that speed, most radar systems have almost no time to track, lock on, and intercept. If the reports are accurate, Yemen's strike represents not just a tactical victory, but a psychological one. For years, Yemen has been seen as a country under siege, engulfed in war, poverty, and foreign intervention. Yet this new weapon shows a level of sophistication that few expected. According to early analyses, this hypersonic projectile likely followed a low, unpredictable trajectory, giving Israel's Iron Dome no chance to react in time. The result was a direct hit on a strategic target, sending a clear message: the balance of power in the region is shifting, and new technology is changing the rules of engagement. To understand the gravity of this event, we need to go back to how hypersonic technology works. Unlike traditional ballistic missiles, which follow a predictable arc through the atmosphere, hypersonic glide vehicles maneuver at extreme speeds while remaining within the upper layers of atmosphere. This combination of speed and agility makes them incredibly difficult to track and intercept. Only a handful of nations like the United States, Russia, and China have openly developed such weapons. Yemen's sudden demonstration of this capability raises immediate questions. Where did the technology come from, and how advanced is their arsenal really? Speculation has already begun. Some experts believe Yemen may have received technical assistance from regional allies, possibly Iran, which has been improving its missile technology for years. Others suggest that Yemeni engineers may have adapted existing systems, turning short-range ballistic missiles into hypersonic prototypes through innovative modifications. Whatever the origin, the result has stunned intelligence agencies. For Israel, this breach represents a direct challenge to its defense superiority, a reminder that no system, no matter how advanced, is completely invincible. The Iron Dome was never designed to intercept hypersonic weapons. Its primary mission is to detect and destroy slower moving projectiles like rockets and mortars. The system's radar identifies incoming threats, calculates their trajectory, and fires interceptor missiles to neutralize them mid-air. It's efficient, reliable, and has been tested in countless conflicts, but against a hypersonic missile, its reaction window shrinks to mere seconds, making successful interception nearly impossible. This means Israel now faces a new kind of threat, One, that its current defenses weren't built to handle. The psychological impact of this strike is immense. For decades, Israel has relied on its technological edge to deter attacks. The Iron Dome, along with the Arrow and David's sling systems, created a layered defense shield that few believed could be penetrated. Now that shield has a crack, the message from Yemen is loud and clear. Even the most advanced defense systems can be overwhelmed. And if one missile can get through, what happens if there are more? This is the question now haunting military planners and political leaders in Tel Aviv and beyond. Strategically, this event could embolden other groups and nations in the region. If Yemen can field such a weapon, others might follow. Iran, Lebanon's Hezbollah, and even Syria could see this as proof that the era of Israeli air defense dominance is ending. Meanwhile, Israel will likely accelerate its research into next-generation interceptors capable of tackling hypersonic threats. That means more funding, more international cooperation, and possibly closer ties with nations like the United States that are already working on such technology. Beyond the battlefield, the geopolitical consequences could be far-reaching. This event might push Middle Eastern alliances into new formations. Yemen, often isolated and weakened by years of war, now finds itself in the spotlight. If it truly possesses hypersonic weapons, it could gain leverage in diplomatic negotiations and regional power politics. Conversely, Israel may respond with direct retaliation or cyber warfare to prevent further attacks. The escalation potential is very real, but it's also important to understand the symbolic meaning behind this moment. Yemen's strike is being celebrated by supporters as a triumph of resilience. To them, it's not just a missile. It's a statement of defiance against what they see as years of oppression and foreign intervention. For Israel, it's a wake-up call, a reminder that security cannot rely solely on technology. Wars are not only fought with weapons, they are also fought with willpower, innovation, and unpredictability. The Iron Dome's failure, even if temporary, forces the world to reconsider how future wars will look. Defense systems, once thought untouchable, are now vulnerable to new generations of weapons. The age of hypersonic warfare has officially arrived in the Middle East. Unlike conventional missiles, hypersonic weapons don't just destroy, they destabilize, they create uncertainty. And in military strategy, uncertainty is the greatest threat of all. In the coming weeks, experts will be analyzing the remains of the missile and the damage it caused to determine whether it truly was hypersonic. There will be debates, denials, and conflicting reports, but regardless of what official confirmations reveal, one thing is clear: perception matters. The idea that the Iron Dome can be defeated has already spread, and that alone changes the psychology of deterrence. Public reaction within Israel has been mixed. Some citizens are shocked, others skeptical. The government is working to reassure the public that their defenses remain strong. But behind the scenes, emergency meetings are being held, new radar technologies are being tested, every vulnerability is being reviewed. Military engineers are racing to develop an answer, a way to detect and counter hypersonic threats before they strike again. Meanwhile, in Yemen, celebrations and statements of victory have filled the media. For them, this was not just a military action, but a demonstration of power and capability after years of being underestimated. The images of a missile bypassing one of the most advanced defense systems in the world have gone viral, fueling narratives of resistance and resilience. This strike could also impact international arms markets. Nations will now be more interested in hypersonic technology, both to acquire it and to defend against it. Defense contractors are already predicting a surge in demand for new anti-hypersonic systems. We might soon see a new global arms race focused not on nuclear weapons, but on speed, precision, and stealth. But this also brings an unsettling question. How will global powers react? The United States, Israel's closest ally, is unlikely to stay silent. Washington may increase its military support and share advanced tracking technology to strengthen Israel's defenses. On the other hand, nations like Russia and China, already leaders in hypersonic weapons, might see this as a sign that their influence in the Middle East is expanding. They could offer cooperation or even arms deals to states looking for a counterbalance to Western defense systems. At the human level, every military escalation has a cost. Civilians always bear the consequences. If tensions rise, more airstrikes, blockades, and retaliatory measures could follow. The region is already fragile, and this new chapter risks pushing it closer to wider conflict. The use of hypersonic weapons also opens an ethical debate. These weapons give little to no warning before impact. Unlike older missiles that could trigger air raid sirens, hypersonic strikes arrive so quickly that civilians might not even have time to seek shelter. That makes them devastating both physically and psychologically. In this sense, Yemen's strike is more than just a show of strength. It's a glimpse into the future of warfare, where speed and stealth outmatch even the most sophisticated defense systems. Nations will now be forced to rethink their security doctrines, their alliances, and their deterrence strategies. Israel will almost certainly respond with precision and calculation. Retaliation may not come immediately, but history shows it always comes. Whether through targeted operations, cyber counterstrikes, or international diplomacy, Israel will seek to restore its image of invincibility. For now, though, the world has witnessed something historic. A moment where one of the strongest air defense systems ever built was reportedly breached by a nation few believed capable of such a feat. As new information emerges, the truth will become clearer. But no matter what is confirmed, this moment will be remembered as a signal that the balance of power in the region is evolving rapidly. Technology is no longer confined to the superpowers. Smaller nations, through determination and innovation, are entering the high-tech battlefield with weapons once thought impossible for them to possess. This event also sends a warning to other nations relying heavily on defense systems. No technology remains unbeatable forever. Every system, no matter how advanced, can be outsmarted, outpaced, or overwhelmed by new innovations. The Iron Dome was once the gold standard of air defense. Now, the world sees it as vulnerable. The message from this incident echoes far beyond Yemen and Israel. It resonates across every military base, every think tank, and every government office that once believed in absolute security through technology. The lesson is clear. In modern warfare, adaptation is survival. This story is still developing, and as more details surface, the implications will continue to unfold. But for now, this is a defining moment, a powerful reminder that in the ever-evolving landscape of global conflict, no one can afford to stand still. Technology moves fast, innovation moves faster, and in the race for military dominance, the side that adapts first often decides the future. So, as we watch this situation unfold, one thing is certain: the Middle East just entered a new era. An era where speed defeats defense, and where nations once seen as powerless now have the tools to rewrite the rules. The world has changed, and everyone is now paying attention. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over.